right, excuse me. Well, today the Lions bounced back in a big way. They were a little bit mad because some of the fans, like I, were panicking about what they had going on last week with Green Bay. A lot of y'all, I seen on the thread, y'all might not want to admit it, but what Green Bay did to the Washington Commanders made y'all feel a little bit easier. All right, a lot of y'all felt a lot bit easier after seeing what Washington did or Green Bay did to Washington. Um, but today the Lions offense got rolling. Was it the home crowd? Was it the pressure? The offensive line picked up. The run game started going in the right direction. Jared Goff had time, and a lot of them said, "Hey man, hey, this is stuff that we can correct. We're just not on the same page." And defensively, I believe Davenport got injured again. I don't know how he came back, got a sack, got injured. I don't know how serious that is, but overall, it was tough. I mean, Ben Johnson is in not even a full year of a rebuild. So Chicago fans are thinking of some type of miracle turnaround like Washington had with Jaden Daniels. No, that's the once in a generation type stuff. New ownership. Then you talk about not only just new ownership. Then you start to get into um, new coaching staff. GM and coach ain't been on the same. They didn't really pick each other like that. So yeah, it's a different ball game in my humble opinion, man. So uh, it just takes time. I know y'all want Rome to be built in one day, but it doesn't work that way. Okay. So you got Caleb Williams, who was 19 for 30, 207, two picks, one interception. He was sacked 4 times. Sat in the pocket a little bit longer today. DeAndre Swift had a fumble. He was 12 carries, 63 yards, one touchdown late in the game. Romeo Duzier, I mean, he had a breakout game. 7 catches, 128, 2 TDs. DJ Moore was solid. I feel like he could have did more. 5 catches, 46 yards. You had 2 fumbles. One was lost by DeAndre Swift. The backup quarterback came in, and for the most part, they got some pressure on Goff. I mean, the usual, most coverage pressures. But, you look at the Lions side of it, it was just explosive. 52 to 21, 23 for 28. That's great. Only 5 incompletions, 334, 5 touchdowns. No sacks. Gibbs had a big 42-yard run at the end, 94 yards, 1 touchdown. Montgomery had some good runs, 11 carries, 57 yards, 1 touchdown. St. Brown picked up a big first down from the backfield. He had a big day, 9 catches, a career high, 3 TDs, 115 yards. He had 1 drop, though. That was, damn. He had 11 targets. J-Mo had a big catch. Should have had 2 big catches. Goff overthrew him. I know you can't believe it. 2 catches, 108, 1 touchdown. I mean, then, a lot of stuff there. Brian Branch forced the fumble. I don't know if he got credit for that. You had Branch with a sack, Al Quaid, Muhammad with a sack late in the game, Davenport with a sack, Hutchinson got a sack. So, and they played a little bit of zone coverage today too, and they have to. When you play guys as mobile, it's gonna take time. When these guys play a little bit more zone, y'all got to understand that it's gonna take some time to get used to playing zone coverage. That's just what it is. It takes time, and that's why I don't really like them kind of really leaning. I don't really like them leaning so heavily into man coverage. I think as a defense, you really should try to, play both well. But then again, that's hard to do because you have system guys. You have system guys. You got some guys that are meant to be true zone cover corners. I remember we took Darius Slay, and we tried to play him in zone, and he struggled, but eventually he got it. Yeah, eventually he got it. Eventually it worked for him. Eventually he came in and, he became, a good zone, but it takes time. A lot of guys you get, and primarily on the corners is what you're talking about. Your man-to-man cover corners. If you can find guys that can be exceptional man-to-man in zone, I mean, I think everybody would do it. And then maybe your linebackers might have to cover, but the linebacker should be good, at least in zone coverage, right? So I think that's the issue, is kind of getting everybody together and learning how to play both. So like Rondé Barber couldn't be a man-to-man cover corner. Late in his career, the way he was a Tampa 2 guy. Antoine Winfield, another guy that kind of went the nickel. Charles Woodson went the nickel. Rod Woodson went the safety. So you got a lot of guys as they get older, they kind of go to that hybrid, either like Tampa 2 short corner, or they go to that hybrid safety nickel or to a safety. You see Jalen Ramsey kind of going to safety over there with Pittsburgh. So, yeah, you started to see that a little bit, but St. Brown was phenomenal. He made some great catches. Made good catches last week. And honestly, they look good today. The home crowd behind them. John Morton came out. A lot of hard play action, play fakes. And they shot the ball. So next thing really you started to see is you kind of see the run defense come first. The run blocking come first. You kind of see the run blocking come first. For the most part, the Lions today pass block well, struggled a little bit early in the run block, but then down the stretch, they start moving mountains when they wore them out. So yeah, I see the Lions do a lot better with run block. They did better pass blocking today. So, but to be honest, they got a lot of maulers inside between Mahogany and Ratledge, and you got Sewell. So they played well today. I think it was about it being on the same page. Golf was surgical with the home crowd behind them. Chicago, they're upstart. I know they, as bad as they want Chicago to be good right now. That's what they want. They want Chicago to be good right now. I don't think it's pretty much going to happen that way. So, but they needed that win. Also, Joe Burrow go down with a toe injury, so we don't know how bad toe injury was, but how long he going to be down for. So, yeah, Baltimore Monday night. The following Sunday, that Sunday on the short week, they verse Cleveland, and they go to Cincinnati at Kansas City. So, if for the most part, we'll see what Kansas City do. A Burrow gone, and Kansas City ain't what they used to be. I mean, they might have a chance to come back. But next week, I think a lot of people expect them to lose to the Baltimore Ravens for the simple fact they struggle versus Lamar mobile quarterbacks. We'll see what happened with Marcus Davenport, to be honest. Also, maybe they bring somebody in, maybe they don't. But so I don't know what's being said about him right now. Right now, they're saying it was an ankle injury. So that was 2 hours ago. So I don't know if he came back after that. Now they're saying it was a shoulder injury. So he got a shoulder and an ankle. So see if we can get on X and see what's going on here. See if we can pull it up. See if we can pull this up. So hold on. So I don't know. They're not saying much. So so it was a shoulder. The first time was an ankle. Second time it was a shoulder. So, but we'll see if they get on the horn with Clowney or somebody and make a deal. But I think you're gonna see a lot more of them probably if they want to win next week. You're probably gonna see a lot more of them play zone coverage versus the Baltimore Ravens. I think that's what you're gonna see them play a lot more zone coverage. And that's something they gotta have to master. Or if you want to continue to play man-to-man coverage, versus them type of versus a guy like Lamar, then you gotta have superior athletes up front. So you gotta have superior athletes up front. So but yeah, it's gonna be interesting. They blew out Cleveland today, 41-17. So Lamar had 4 touchdowns, 225. They didn't do much on the ground game. He was sacked 3 times. Flacco didn't do much. Dylan Gabriel came in for a minute. So it wasn't pretty much going on. So they dominated. So we'll see them in Baltimore next week on Monday night. And but for Chicago, they're upstart. But you know, at home versus Minnesota, they had the crowd behind them. They thought shit was sweet like ass cheeks, and it wasn't. So, but other than that, man, we'll see what happens. Great win by the Detroit Lions. Way to bounce back. And next week, they got their hands full going to Baltimore. But if they can get that Baltimore victory and some of the things that's starting to shape out the way it's starting to shape out with Burrow and possibly with Kansas City, they might can weather that early storm. And I think if they get past that patch of, you know, Baltimore, Cleveland, Baltimore, Kansas City, Philly, Washington, they get past that stretch, you know, they may end up being a real problem. So, yeah, we'll see what happens, man. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, check out the Lions post game reaction playlist. Find me on X, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Amazon, Kick, Twitch. Appreciate the love, support. Peace.